In the quaint coastal town of Almara, sunlight danced on the rippling ocean. The soft crash of waves and the crisp sea air muddled with the ineffable stories that circulated amongst its denizens. Among those whispered legends was the tale of Elias Tate, a dashing young painter with an affinity for capturing the sand-swept emotions of the place he called home. Elias, with his sharp jawline and blue eyes that mirrored Almara's waters, had the soul of a restless artist. Each stroke of his brush carried the weight of unspoken words and hidden depths. His talent was undeniable, and while his paintings were displayed in the modest local gallery, his heart brokered an unfulfilled longing. One drippy, fog-laden evening, as Elias wandered the lonely beach after a dispiriting day fighting a blank canvas, he stumbled upon a figure standing at the edge of the shore. The man was gazing out to sea, his posture both tense and mesmerizing. Elias approached slowly, drawn by a magnetic pull he couldn't resist. The stranger turned, and their eyes locked. He was older, his hair touched with strands of silver, and he possessed an aura of melancholy elegance. "I'm Julian," he said, his voice a melody that seemed to resonate with the distant call of the seagulls. "Elias," replied Elias, feeling a curious kinship in the simple exchange. They talked until the stars claimed the sky, sharing stories over coffee at a small diner that glimmered with the faint buzz of neon lights. Julian was a writer who had lost his muse, wandering the world in search of it, while Elias found in Julian's tale the colors he yearned to paint. Days turned to weeks. They explored the shifting dunes and the rocky cliffs, their conversations weaving through their souls, binding them with silent threads of understanding and desire. One evening, as twilight embraced Almara, Elias took a chance. In his small, cluttered studio, with Julian silently observing, Elias painted. The canvas erupted in vibrant hues, a stormy seascape with two solitary figures amidst the tempest, clearly drawn to each other. Dropping the brush, Elias turned to Julian, his heart thundering a silent plea. Julian stepped forward, his eyes reflecting the turmoil and beauty of the painting. "You've found it," he murmured, his hand reaching up to gently caress Elias's cheek. "What?" Elias's voice was barely a whisper, caught between hope and apprehension. "The storm within you," Julian whispered back. They closed the distance, their lips meeting in a kiss that tasted of salt and wind-swirled passion, a confirmation of the silent stories their hearts had been narrating. Late nights turned into shared dawns, their bond deepening as they became each other's muse. Julian wrote once more, his words dripping with the essence of the vistas Elias captured on canvas. Together, they unearthed a harmony that only true companions could understand. Yet, as the season's wheel turned, bringing golden autumn to Almara, Julian's restlessness brewed anew. It was time for him to continue his journey. The night before his departure was filled with a tender melancholy. At the break of dawn, by the now familiar shore, Julian clasped Elias's hands in his. "You've forever changed the landscape of my heart," Julian confessed, the early light casting silhouettes on the sand. "And you've painted your soul on mine," Elias replied, his voice thick with unshed tears. With a final kiss, Julian left, leaving Elias with a canvas of memories and a promise of return. Elias's paintings grew richer, each piece a chapter of their story, a tale of discovery, passion, and the inevitable ebbs and flows of fate. And as Almara whispered around him, Elias waited, canvas ready, for the day the tides would bring Julian back to him. For in true Almara fashion, every whispered legend might one day become a shared truth.